right, what's up? So, this is day 2, and this is the afternoon session. So, the afternoon session consists of 30 minutes. I recite Proverbs chapter 1, verses 8 to 14, because this is day 2. And then connect it to the ones I recited yesterday, which was 1 through 7 of chapter 1. This is review specific chunks where errors occur, use visualization methods, picture a parent giving wise counsel, and imagine the sinners tempting dangerous offers. Okay, so this is where we identify any errors and review trouble spots. Okay. Proverbs chapter 1, verses 8 to 14. I feel like I'm going to mess this up already. Hear, my son. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and neglect and reject not your mother's teachings. Your mother's teaching. Ooh, this is terrible. Your mother's teaching. Oh. Something, it's hear or listen. Hear, my son. No. Something. Okay. First, the second verse, I'm already struggling with. Hear, my son. If sinners entice you, do not consent. Do not consent. If they say, "Come with us," let us lie in wait for blood. Let us lie in wait for blood. Oh, it's like let us. Let us lie in wait for blood. Let us. Something wantonly the innocent. Okay, so the word before wantonly, the innocent. Let us swallow them alive and whole. Damn, I gotta remember. I gotta look back at all this. Let us swallow them alive, or whole and alive and whole. Like as the man who goes down to the pit. Like as those who go down to the pit. Like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious something. We shall fill our houses with spoils. Cast your lot in among us. We will have one purse. Let me write this down and see how bad it was. Afternoon session. Oh boy. Okay. Let's try this. Writing down. In the beginning. My son. Or it says, "Here, comma, my son. Your father's instruction and it's either neglect or reject. Neglect not, reject not. I'm gonna write reject, could be wrong. Reject not your mother's teaching. I think it's just my son. I think it just goes straight to my son. I'm no longer here, but okay. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, comma, quotation marks, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood, let us I don't know if it's ambush, but I'm going to write ambush. Let us ambush and then wantonly the innocent. And then it goes again. Let us swallow them. I'm going to put whole first. Whole and alive. It could be swapped. Like those who go down to the pit. Okay. Those who go down to the pit. And then we shall find, we shall fill. We shall find all precious something. We shall fill our houses with spoils. We shall fill our houses with spoils. I think that's it. Oh, brother, this afternoon session going kind of rough. Okay. I'm going to re-say how we broke up the chunks. So the first chunk was verses 8 to 9, which is about listening to parental teachings. Second chunk was 10 to 11, which was avoid sinners' persuasion. 3, which is chunk 12 to 14. The sinners. Ooh, I remember the last part now. Enticing promises. The last part after spoils is cast your lots among us. We will all have one purse. Okay, we will all have one purse. Okay, let's take a look. Also, new Bible. I got this big boy. It's huge. Kind of fire. Very fire, actually. It's so new. It smells so new. Okay. It starts with hear, comma, my son, your father's instruction. Okay, good. And reject not your mother's teachings. Okay, we got the reject part. That's pretty good. Okay, reject not your mother's teachings. Oh, that's what I forgot. What are the teachings on that? For they are a fair garland for your head and pendants for your neck. That I forgot. Okay. My son, comma, if sinners entice you, comma, do not consent. Okay, got that. Period. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood, comma. Let us wantonly ambush the innocent. Okay, so it's swap ambush and wantonly. Not ambush wantonly. Wantonly ambush the innocents. Like Sheol, where is it? I put let us swallow, but it's not. Like Sheol, so the like Sheol part I forgot. Like Sheol, let us swallow them, and then alive goes first and whole goes after. Okay. Dang, Loki's struggling. Alive and whole. Like those, where is it? Like those who go down to the pit. Okay. Semicolon. We shall find all precious, and then the word that I forgot was goods. Okay. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Spoil is singular, not spoils. And then the last part is not cast, but throw in. Okay, was I using cast before? No, it was throw in. Throw in your lot singular, not lots. Throw in your lot among us, and we will all have. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. End of quotes. Dash. Okay. Okay. I need to work on this a ton. Afternoon session, just keep reciting them. Review specific chunks where errors occur. Use the visualization method. Picture a parent giving wise counsel. Imagine the sinner's tempting, dangerous offers. Okay. The one part that I want to get is, I'm going to break it up in my mind. I'm going to break it up into two sections. The actual advice, warning, counsel from the parent, and then the whole quote from the sinner. And the connection between the sinner is going to be part of the first section. So the first section is, hear my son your father's instruction and reject not your mother's teaching. Hear my son your father's instruction and reject not your mother's teaching. Okay, that's fine. But then we have to talk about what is this stuff. And it says for both of them, so it's plural, for they are a fair garland for your head and pendants for your neck. Okay, so hear my son your father's instruction and neglect and reject. Why am I saying neglect? Neglect is like not even like accepting it. Rejecting is knowing it but still choosing to do something else. So reject. And reject not your mother's teaching. For they are a fair garland for the head and pendants for the neck. Okay. For they are a fair garland for your head and pendants for your neck. Okay. Okay. Just some notes from the Bible, the study Bible. My son, in verse 8, it says the home was a primary setting of moral and religious formation in biblical Israel. Hence, the mother's role as a teacher is mentioned alongside the father's role. It is possible that an institutional system of public education operated in pre-Zelic, that's how you say it, Israel, perhaps in connection with the Davidic monarchy. But there's no direct evidence for Jewish schools until the 2nd century BC. Wisdom literature from Egypt and Mesopotamia often presents fathers instructing their sons in proper behavior. Okay, in verse 10, the word sinners, they describe it as habitual, or they define it as habitual evildoers, not persons guilty of occasional transgressions. Okay, so habitual evil, okay. And in verse 11, it says, come with us. That's how the quote from the sinner start, the enticing quote. Temptation to sin often confront young people as peer pressure. The term wait for blood, a warning against violence motivated by greed. Interesting. And then this refers to 13, which is the aspect of we shall find all precious goods and we shall fill our houses with spoil. In verse 12, Sheol, the nether world of the dead, a realm of utter darkness and gloom, thought to be located deep in the earth. And then it says see word study Sheol. Okay, so let's break it up again. Hear, my son, your father's instruction. Father's possessive. Father's instruction. And reject not your mother's teaching. For they are a fair garland to your head and pendants to your neck. And then I think it just starts it with my son. Yeah, it does just, okay. So after pendants for the neck, it just goes to my son. If sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, that's kind of the transition into the quote part, which is the quote part is just one whole section, the whole ending of these verses that I have to memorize. If they say, come with us, right? Because they're inviting you, come with us. Let us lie in wait for blood. Let us wantingly ambush the innocent. Okay, the first section of the quote is done. After that, it goes into Sheol. I don't know if he uses the word like Sheol. I feel like it would. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. It is like Sheol. Perfect. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. Okay. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. Okay, so what I'm picturing is they give the advice, right? I'm gonna take the position as just like a third party, and I'll see a father and a son talking, and he'd say, "My son," or "Hear, my son, to your father's." Not even two. I don't think the word two is there. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and reject not your mother's teaching. For they are a garland. For they are a garland to the head and pendants to the neck and they are garland for your head and pendants for your neck. Okay. After that it says, my son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, okay, switch it back to the quotes. And the quotes kind of just start off by, in a sense, extending the invitation to join their team. Come with us. Let us lie in wait for blood. Let us wantingly ambush the innocent. The innocent, yes. Okay, good. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. Like those who go down to the pit. Like those. So like Sheol and then like those. I think. Yeah, like those go down. Okay. We shall find all precious goods. Find and fill. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. That's that false promise again. Throw your lots among us. We'll all have one purse. And then they get backstabbed. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Keep saying this, keep saying it. Gonna write it a couple more times, or at least one more time, and then we're gonna see if, well, I guess that's for the afternoon session. Then, or the evening session, then I will recite it all, listen to myself, or recite it to a family member for feedback. Okay. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and reject not your mother's teaching, for they are a garland for the head and pendants for the neck. My son, if a sinner entices you, do not consent. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us wantonly ambush the innocent. And it continues. This is the sinner's bad quote, so it continues in the negative sense. Let us wantonly ambush the innocent. Why am I blanking? Wantonly ambush the innocent. Oh, brother, I am blanking. Let us wantonly ambush the like Sheol. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. Like those who go down to the pit. Okay, so pit. And then in the pit, when I think of pit, I know that they go down to like Sheol, but I also think they go down to find treasure, to make some worldly more rich. Okay. Like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with spoil. We shall fill our houses with spoil. And this is the last section. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. Okay, throw your lot in among us. We will all have one purse. Okay. Now let me say it as if I were the sinner. I am the sinner. Let me say it as if I were the sinner they're referring to, enticing somebody to sin. Let me just personify myself as them. Come with us. Let us lie in wait for blood. Let us wantonly ambush the innocent. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. Like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. We will all have one purse. Let us wantonly, like Sheol, let us swallow them alive. Like those who go down to the pits, we shall find all precious goods. Okay. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and reject not your mother's teaching. For they are a pendant for the head. No, for they are a fair garland for the head, and pendants for the neck. My son, if a sinner entices you, do not consent. Do not consent. If a sinner entices you, do not consent. If they say, and this is why I personify myself as a sinner, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us wantonly ambush the innocent. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. What's after alive and whole? Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. Oh, like those who go down to the pit. Like those who go down to the pit. Like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with spoil. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. So all, I think all before find, we shall find all, we shall find something precious goods. I think it's all, right? We shall find all precious goods. Yes, and then we will all have one purse. Okay. Okay, I'll write it down. Say it a couple more times. And then see what happens. Hear, my son. Hear, my son, your father's instruction. Okay, personifies a father saying this to the son. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and reject not your mother's teaching. For they are a garland for your head and pendants for your neck. Then it goes, my son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. Sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, comma, colon, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us want only ambush the innocent. Let us wantonly ambush the innocent, comma, we shall find all precious goods. We shall we shall fill our houses with spoil. Shall fill our houses with spoil. the quote doesn't end there. Like Sheol, let us swallow them. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. Like those who go down to the pit. Those who go down to the pit. Throw in your lots, not lots, singular, your lot among us. Throw your lot among us. Oh, why am I blanking on the last part? Throw your lot among us. We will all have one purse. Okay, let's test. It says, "Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and reject not your mother's teaching. For they are the word fair garland. For they are a fair garland for your head and pendants for your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, 'Come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us wantonly ambush the innocent. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with spoil.' Like Sheol, innocent, like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. Make those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious good. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Throw in your lot among us. Throw in your lot among us. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse." Okay. "Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and reject not your mother's teaching. For they are a fair garland for your head, and pendants for your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent." Okay. Do not consent. "If they say, 'Come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us wantonly ambush the innocent.'" Why does it remember in chunks? "Let us wantonly ambush the innocent." Okay, and continue to Sheol. "Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole. Let us swallow them alive and whole." Let us swallow them alive and whole. Let us swallow them alive and whole. Oh, like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our house with spoils. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. Okay. Stamp it there and wait for the evening session to continue. But thanks for watching. Thanks for watching me struggle.